Okay, so while your product is in the sea or the air, hopefully the air for your very first one, you are going to focus on making the best listing possible. Now, I'm just going to briefly explain the 2 steps that are necessary to making a good Amazon listing that will get people buying. And it's actually a lot more simple than people think, but it's the most important thing. And some people just don't think about these aspects. So by knowing these and optimizing for these, this is how you ensure that you will have a successful Amazon listing, assuming you did your product research correctly and you have a good product. You didn't do that right? Go back and do that right. Okay, so there's 2 steps. There is a machine, which is the Amazon algorithm. So essentially, how does Amazon decide what to show when people type in words? Because people have ideas, they put in words. What does Amazon show? Amazon literally can only see numbers and whatnot. So basically, it really comes down to the first one is words. So if somebody looked up Bluetooth headphones for working out, you have to have all those words somewhere in your listing. And that's it. So you get the at bat by having all the words in your listing somewhere. Okay? And then now, how does it decide to show? So essentially, there might be 100,000 results for a certain keyword. Now, which does it show first? It does that through sales. Because Amazon, at a fundamental level, they are trying to show the best products for people. Somebody will type in the word, and then Amazon will show some results that had all those words in the listing somewhere. And then if people buy, for example, this one, okay, great. Let's continue to show that higher. And if people don't buy, or let's say this one sells, 5 a day, and this one sells 4 a day, well, then it's going to switch it around. All right. And that's basically how it works. But you're asking, when I start selling, I have 0. I have 0. How do I get ranking? Okay. What are we going to do with 0 sales? Well, Amazon gives you a nice 30 or 14-day period when you launch. And it says, hey, there's new products, and we obviously want new products to have a shot. So you get kind of a grace period. And you can buy, guess what? So here were the places ranking. Here were the listings that are shown. The top 3, you can just buy them. You pay for them with ads. Great. So then we're happy. All right. So essentially, what our goal of making a listing is getting the right words in there and then getting sales through those words. But you'll never get sales unless you get the other person happy, and that's the person. So Amazon is a game of essentially you gotta make the machine happy, the Amazon algorithm, and then it shows you, all right, and gives you an at bat. You buy some ads, you get a little grace period, but you gotta make the people happy. And we should be making the people happy because we chose something that was solving an unsolved need. So it shouldn't be too hard if you've done your product research right and you have a good product. But you also have to have a good listing, because you could have a great product for a great market, but if it's not presented great, I mean, people think in images and emotions. So our goal is to make the machine happy on one end, so it gives us that at bat. And then we make the people happy, so they give us the dollars. Because when we get the dollars, then now the machine does the math and it says, well, when people look up that word, they buy that. And Amazon's goal is to show products that people want. So, I mean, all Amazon can see is words and numbers. So it gives you the at bat. People type in that word and then they buy. And then they say, wow, that was good. Let's show that again. And that's the way that Amazon works. It's probably never going to change from that, because at the end of the day, it's just about showing customers products that they want. So now you might be thinking again, well, but how do I make the people happy? Well, let me tell you. The first thing that you need to make people happy is you need their attention. So essentially, we need to get their attention with our listing. So if we go and we look at an Amazon search result, we have right here, let's say we were looking up wall chargers. Essentially, there's main things in a listing that get shown on the search results, and everybody looks up words, and that's how we find products on Amazon. And there's certain parts here. Now, some people might think of writing a title, but the title really is not important. The title really isn't important on Amazon, I could tell you. Because what do we look at? I'll highlight the things that are for people, and I'll highlight the things that are for the machine. the algorithm. This is for people. This is for people. And this is for people. And guess what? This is for the machine. When we look at a listing on the Amazon search results, we really don't care about these. And essentially Amazon gives so we already talked about how we need to put words in our listing. Well, the most important place to put our words is in our title, because how does it know what a product is? It doesn't really know. So where you put the words will tell Amazon how important those words are to your listing. That's a part of it. So the title is the number one place for the Amazon machine to learn what your product is. So we put the highest volume keywords in our title, and we try to make it sound readable and logical, but we're not trying to sell them on the best power bank charger for fast charging. Like, no, we just stuff keywords. That's the way Amazon works, because people don't care about key titles that much on Amazon. Now I'll show you the listing. Oh, and one thing about that main image, it's clickbait. It's like a YouTube, because like we said, we need attention to even to even have a shot at getting sales. So we have the words to get the at-bats, and then we have the images to get the clicks, because otherwise you don't have an at-bat without the click. Now when they're on your listing here, it's a different game. All right, so obviously this first one, this is a beautiful one I like from Anchor, and I love Anchor. What we have here, I'll highlight these and then I'll show you. So these, obviously this is, number one is clickbait. Clickbait to get their attention. The bigger the product, the better normally. And we go really in depth on how to make good product photos and descriptions in the intermediate course. This is just a high level overview so you understand what an Amazon listing really is. Now these are to sell and convince them. In the rest of the photos, you're going to have lifestyle. People using the product to put that idea in their head of like, how do you use it? Like in what are they see other people using it. So then, well, that guy's using it or that girl's using it, so I should too. And then there's also benefits. So what are the benefits of using this and the features? Now, the way you choose to do these is dependent on what we talked about earlier, the consumer needs. So your pictures are going to be different based off of what the needs and what the market is that you're going into. So we go really in depth on that, on how to do that, what's good and what's bad. But if you're ever looking for what's good, go look up Anchor. They do it amazingly. They built hundreds of $1 million company just through private label. Probably I think it's the most successful private label company ever. So what else do we have on the listing? We have the title. We already said that this was for the machine. And then we have our bullet points. All right, so this is a combination of the machine and people, because we already said that words, we need words to make the machine happy. So what we do here is we find an elegant way to make the people happy by using the words that will make the machine happy. So essentially we use tools to find all the keywords that people are looking up for our product, and that's not too hard. There's amazing tools out there that help us. My favorite one for that is Helium 10. Go watch the intermediate course to figure out keyword research and finding all those words. It's not too hard when you use the right tools and the right methodology. So now here, we essentially want to highlight the features or any, so basically it's different for every market, but here, so this is a concept of social proof, and that's actually one of the most strongest ones, which is there. Here, this will make or break your listing. Before I get into that description, you got to have a good star rating, and that's why you need a good product. But they even use social proof. Again, 10 million people have voted with their dollars, so you should too. The world's leading brand. Great. So that's authority, which is a psychological thing that makes people happy and makes people buy. Social proof of others are doing it, so I should do it. But if you are a jihingfufu and you're brand new or something, maybe you don't go that route, okay? But here they go off of features. So this is a market where they care about tech, okay? They care about the compatibility. So they probably talk about compatibility in here. Yeah, so they talk about wattage, what does it do? 6 ports, how long? So these are all features. So this is obviously a utilitarian product because you're just trying to charge something. So they focus on that. Now, it would be different if you were doing something that's more choice. You might go more sentimental and other things. But basically here, we fit all the words, and then we remove any objections or questions that people would think about. And you want to know a great place to go in here and what to learn to write about? Go read your competitors' reviews. Write what people commonly write that they like and what they commonly complain about. And then you highlight the features that you have that other people are talking about. And that's how you know that people will actually care about what you write. And then you fit in those words that make the machine happy, and the people care because they write about it. And nobody wants to write reviews. So if people are writing reviews about certain features on your competitors, people care. That's how you find out what people care and machines care, and then people buy if you do it right. And here you want to put keywords in here, but it needs to sound a lot better than your title. Your title is where you put like just kind of messy. This is where you're going to put readable, but with those words. And then you also have your description, which is the same. All right, so if your words don't quite fit up here and they don't quite fit in here, or your description, you get this beautiful thing called backend keywords. So you get 250 characters. No, so essentially 250 letters. Some letters are more than one character, but basically you get 250 letters to put in stuff that doesn't fit on your listing like this. And that's how it works. So the ugly stuff that did or just didn't fit, throw it in the back end and it's good. So basically this, your bullet points and your back end keywords are where you put your second most important stuff. And then the stuff that just, didn't fit in either of these will go in your description. And your most important ones all go up here. And that's it. So you collect the keywords. All right. You collect all your words. So they're all up here. And then you put the most important ones there. And then the next ones you try to fit in there. And then the rest you kind of throw in here and in your description. And you've got it all. And what it really comes down to is your photos. And I just want to quickly show you the Anchor listing here and how they use a really good job of text and photos to get people to buy and feel. And they really focus on serving the needs of that customer who is in the market. So it really comes down to showing that your value proposition and that you're solving that need for them very visually, because we think visually. Think about it. Everything that you do in your life, you're navigating through life with your eyes. So people navigate through Amazon with their eyes. So we go here. Here is the first picture of Anchor. And great. It's huge. It's big. It's shiny. I'm going to click. I'm on it. Didn't really read this other than maybe the 6-port USB. Great. Now here. What do I care about? I care about what does it do for me? Full speed charging. Oh, okay. And they have an exclusive charging technology. And then they use symbols. Because guess what? People think through symbols. A symbol somehow means more than if it just said the word power IQ. That doesn't mean anything. But by using a little energy symbol and an IQ, somehow it means a little bit more. Voltage boost, if you just put that on there, it doesn't mean much. But now this, it's like, oh, I don't know, that looks a little bit stronger. It's little stuff like that. Like humans aren't that hard to get points across to, because we just shiny. It's shiny. Do you notice how everything is shiny here? We like shiny stuff and pick and symbols or stuff like that. So every time you can do that, try to do that. Look at a dollar bill or any currency. It's all full of symbols. It's not full of words, symbols. And then here it does say what it does not support, because you want to be upfront. You don't want to lie, because that gets you just unhappy customers, returns, and negative reviews. So you want to be upfront. Don't lie in your product, but make it shiny and fun. Now, is their charging technology really exclusive? I don't know, but it probably works. And then you see even little things here. They could have just shown an iPhone, but instead now they show a fully charged iPhone, and the little charging coming in there. So just all those things. You want to have your stuff straight and just nice and presentable. Okay, that's what they do here. Do you also notice how they psychologically show you a Samsung phone and an iPhone? That way it works with everything. Because that could be an objection or a question. Well, does this do full charging for my iPhone? and somebody else is like, does this charge for my Samsung? So they probably address that in the listing. Okay, so this is their description. They have a bit, they get to put a bigger description in than you do it initially because they have a trademark. And when you get a trademark, you get this thing where you get to write a really nice description, but it's still, you could do it without that. But look here, of course, they say it supports Apple, Android tablets, and more at maximum speed. So they cover it all. Oh, and then what do you know? The next one, universal compatibility. So they've addressed that it charges fast and it works for everything. Oh, and they show it all too, of course. And they take up the full thing. And this just looks beautiful. They even show Kindle there. Now here they show, okay, we have a superior safety. So this is, wow, this thing is charging really fast. Is it dangerous? No, so they make you feel safe. They say we're the best. We're the most powerful. The most people vote with us. We work with everything, and we're safe. And if you notice, they have a color scheme here. Everything is congruent. They always use the same color text and everything so that it flows nice and safe. And what are these? What is this? What is that? I don't know, but it's another symbol. Use symbols. I mean, why did they really need all these circles? No, but it looks a little bit sexier than if there was no circles. What is that one? I don't know. Maybe parallel circuits. Just another charging one. Put it in there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going on here, but multi-protect. I feel protected. It worked. So now here is the other thing that's important, lifestyle. So you can see it in use and other people using it. And then you see that, of course, they have multiple ports. So, of course, they're going to show multiple cords. And in a lifestyle, like, oh, hey, we're going to use this. You see, oh, somebody's using a tablet there. They're having breakfast. And then they've got a phone right there. So it shows, and they probably show the most, since the most people have iPhones, of course, they show an iPhone there because you want to relate with your customer base as much as possible. Oh yeah, this also allows you to see the size comparatively, which is nice because you might be thinking, well, how big is this thing? Well, you could see it right there. So these are all things that people would be thinking about. Well, cool, this is great, but they can list the dimensions, but do people really know how big a product is by looking at numbers? Maybe 3% of society does. I kind of do, but most people don't, and I still don't really. This is still going to convince me, oh wait, it's like the size of a waffle. Okay, smaller than my iPhone. So that's the way that works. So they remove, in here, they're removing all objections, putting all the keywords, everything great, have great images, keyword stuff, their title, and that's how you make a good listing. So I just want to briefly mention the buying process of a consumer on Amazon. Amazon is the search engine for products. And they are at this part in the phase when they are here. Maybe when they go to here, this is their life. And they see, I've got a problem with this, or I need something. Now, it's not necessarily always a burning need. It could be, God, I need a purse for next weekend's party. Or it could be, I need a knee brace because I just broke my knee. Okay? And then what they do is they go here for an information search. But they don't go to Amazon to do information search and learn what they need. Okay, they go to Google for that. Then what they do is once they're at Google and they figure it out, then they go to Amazon. Then they go to Amazon once they know what they need. So, and they evaluate the alternatives. So you don't, in your listing, don't describe what Bluetooth is. Oh, they want Bluetooth, okay? Now, maybe if there's something obscure, they just try not to use obscure stuff that's going to confuse people that they don't know what it is. Just really focus that people are here to evaluate and buy, and you just need to remove those question marks of, hey, does this have Bluetooth? Not what is Bluetooth and what are the benefits of a Bluetooth? No, they know what it is, okay? And then if you do that correctly, you remove all objections by stating all the things that your product does have. That's how you're going to go ahead and get a really good listing that people are going to buy. So I hope that you guys have a good understanding. I'll just do a very brief summary because I love to do summaries. Amazon. So here's the brief summary. Amazon is two things: the machine and the man. All right. You got to make the machine happy so that it brings you to the man. And then you make the man happy, or the woman, and then that makes the machine happy. And then it's a cycle like that. So you got to have the words, because that's all the machine knows is words. You get sales through those words. You can buy traffic through those words, and they give you a shot in the beginning. And then you got to make the people happy. You make people happy with images and words to some extent, but mainly images, and you focus on the consumer needs. The consumer needs we've addressed that earlier in the course, and you really focus on that, but you got to get their attention, so you got to make that clickbait. There's my favorite one of that. They're on your listing then, and on your listing, you want to illustrate as much as you can through the photos, because we are visual beings. Your keyword stuff, this is all for the machine there, machine and human, machine there, and your description is a combination of machine and human again. And if you do this right, oh yeah, and don't forget about this, you got to have a good product, because people want to know, oh, well, you could say everything you want, but is it true? Is that really that great of a product? And we trust other people. We always have throughout evolution, and we will continue to. But you don't need 5,000. If you've done your product research right, you could only have 5 and make selling. Or you could even do it with 1 or none. I've sold with 0 reviews before, and everybody starts out with 0. But you have to do some work to get those initial reviews and get launched. So that's what we'll talk about in the next section, is how you go from 0 reviews to a couple and start to get to rank and sell for those words. And if you really want to know in depth on how you actually make a good listing, go to the intermediate course. We've got all that there.